Monopoly for real. So I'm Tom McKay, been investing for 44 years, started at 19. This is one of 8 houses that I bought in this neighborhood. I think there's only 35 houses in this entire subdivision. So basically I bought 20% of this neighborhood. And you know, besides buying this house, that one behind me, this one here, that beautiful little mini mansion, I sold that to the guy that built that house, and I'm buying the other one. I talked about this last week. I'm paying $550 for that one. This is the first one I bought for $129,000. But I've been buying this neighborhood up for about 15 years, maybe a little bit longer. Also, you know, I bought 50,000 square feet of industrial and commercial property over on the thoroughfare over there. And I'm going to walk you by a house coming up here that I actually bought completely sight unseen. Some people get uncomfortable when you're buying a lot of property and interfere with what you're doing. And I've sued, you know, I've had to sue people, unfortunately, that have kind of gotten a little carried away. Overzealous property owners association. They'll create a property owners association and they got no insurance. They just kind of put on a sheriff's badge and try to become the sheriff of the neighborhood. In fact, when I sued a property owner, you know, you get into their emails and everything else. And this guy had more information on some of my stuff than even I had. But I won't get into that. We can get into that later. Not something, I don't like suing people necessarily. But, you know, some people just, they won't learn any other way. So the property I'm going to talk to you about right now is, look, see that one right there? So now this is after I already bought probably 5 houses in this neighborhood, and that one came up, and of course one of my detractors begged the people, oh, don't sell it to Tom, don't sell it to Tom. And so what I did is, I actually had one of my tenants, I said, hey, look, I'll give you $500. I'm gonna write an offer in your name, and you just go walk through it, say you like it, you'll take it. I'll take care of it from there. So that's what she did. She walked over and you know, looked at the property, said, I'll take it, and pay cash for it. And I wrote it up in her name, and I bought it through her. She signed it, said all cash, short escrow. And then we went into escrow and quickly created an assignment. And so basically she wrote, she's assigning this to one of my entities, and that everything was going to still happen, everything was going to still close on time. And so that's something to always remember. Listen, when a seller, all they really care about is selling. You know, the neighbors are saying, oh, don't sell. You know, also, there's a bunch of fear-mongering was going on at the time. There was a bunch of old coots. That's the problem is when you get some old man in a neighborhood, he's retired. I had a guy that he would walk his 2 dogs, and, you know, he'd act like the dogs are bringing him closer to the property, closer to the fence, but really, he's guiding the dogs closer to the fence so he can stick his nosy nose over the fence and look in and see what's going on. Wants to tell people the grass is too tall. Wants to interfere with people like me that you know, just simply building, you know, a portfolio of rentals and, you know, buying properties that, you know, can sell to, or, you know, put my kids in, or, you know, or just turn a profit. You know, it's that thing when you're a real estate investor. You know, that's pretty much what you got. You're gonna build your portfolio. And you know, you're gonna buy as much properties as you can and make as much money as you can until you can't work anymore. And unfortunately for real estate, that's a very long time, you know. And really, I'm telling you, if you look at my students in my mentorship, flipanythingusa.com, you should really look at it. Please hit that subscribe button too. So much experience looking at you right now, I promise you. Back to the house, we got that thing closed up. And I walked in, saw it for the first time after I bought it. And, you know, when you're buying property significantly under market, you don't really have to worry about the house. Yeah, there's, you know what, it's a house. I know what's inside. There's a kitchen, there's a bathroom. Worst case, I got to replace everything inside. But if I'm getting a good enough deal, I don't really worry about it. And chances are it's not going to be that filthy, that knocked out in an area. But, you know, you can kind of look at the outside of the house. The outside of the house is really a good indication of what the inside looks like. It's not perfect, but they are pretty comparable. Anyways, sorry I had to split this between my phone and this camera. I'm going to get this thing down before long. Listen, you can buy a property without ever seeing the inside, as long as you understand the costs associated with rebuilding that property in a worst case scenario. So anyways, Check out flipanythingusa.com. Again, like and subscribe. Thanks. See ya.